What is up, everybody? And in today's video, this is part 1 of our Pokemon Scarlet Nuzlocke. I am very excited to do this because this is my first Pokemon Nuzlocke ever. So, the rules are on screen right now. Rule 1, catch the first Pokemon you see on a new route. That's going to be very difficult. Rule number 2, if your Pokemon faints, you can't use it anymore. That's hard too. Rule number 3, if you kill your encounter, you can't catch another Pokemon on that route. And rule 4, if all my Pokemon faint, I lose the whole run. Please guys, wish me luck. This is going to be a very, very difficult task to do. So we started off the whole game with Koraidon, or this dragon guy, falling into the water. We see in our school, Naranja Academy, taking lessons from tradition, growing stronger and greater. In the background, it shows the professor from the Legends Arceus, and it introduced us to the Paldea region. Aw, this guy's cute. It showed us our house, which looks pretty much amazing. And the director came into our house. His name is Clavel, and he's wearing a nice orange suit that I like. We got prepared to go to school, and but before we start our journey, we need to get our starter Pokemon. And man, these guys are adorable. They're so cute. We have a little cutscene here with Claxley playing in the water, doing his hair. We have Sprigatito, the kitty cat, smelling flowers and using the move Petal Dance. And we have my favorite guy of them all, Fuecoco, about to eat the apple, but a leaf falls on his nose and he sneezes and burns the whole apple alive. Right after this cutscene, we meet our new rival. So now we get the choice to choose. I obviously chose Fuecoco. He's the apple man. He is adorable. And yeah, he is a fire type too, so that's pretty good. I chose Fuecoco. And oh my god, did you know Fuecoco weighs 22 pounds? How does this guy fit on my shoulder? How can I hold him? We have our first battle, and oh my god, this team is so good. Holy cow. Her name is Nemona, by the way. And she throws out her Pokemon, which is the starter Sprigatito. But to be honest though, that was kind of a stupid decision for her because I have a fire crocodile. And that thing is gonna burn that cat alive with Ember. It goes for Leafage. So, but that was not very effective. So I go for Ember, which is super effective. I know my type advantages. I played a Pokemon game before. Sprigatito is burned from that too. I use Ember one last time, but it goes for Tail Whip, lowering my defense. But that didn't really matter because it didn't get another chance to attack because I went for Ember, finishing off that Leaf Cat. And there we go. We have defeated Nemona. Our first battle. We wrecked her. We got our Pokedex from Director Clavel. Thank you so much. That's not really going to matter though because this is a Nuzlocke. We got a sandwich from Mom, which is probably going to be pretty unimportant. We got to Pokepath, where we were going to find our first Pokemon. Nemona gives us a couple Pokeballs, and a Lechonk comes out. So, I didn't actually catch the Lechonk, because this doesn't really count as our encounter, because it's not the first Pokemon I seen on our route. It kind of is, but it's not. I didn't catch it because I wanted to find a different one than Lechonk. Another one of the new ones, at least. I go for another Ember, defeating the Lechonk. Fuecoco almost leveled up to level 7 from that. We have a challenge that says head to the lighthouse. But to be honest though, I don't really care about no lighthouse. We have our first encounter, which is a Tarantula. So I just chucked a Pokeball right at its little face, And we have got our first Pokemon here. 1 shakes, 2 shakes, 3 shakes, and you are inside. I named it Spider-Man, obviously, because it's a spider. And we tried kind of leveling up Spider-Man a little bit. So I noticed how bad his moveset was. So Spider-Man goes for Tackle, and the Hoppip was a little faster too. So if I kept on going for this, I knew Spider-Man was gonna die. And that's the one thing that I do not want. If they hit me for a high roll, that is not good. So I swapped into Fuecoco. Because this thing is a grass type, so I'm gonna burn it alive with my Ember. I used Ember, and it one-shotted. Dead, instantly. Fuecoco leveled up to level 7, but Spider-Man didn't level up. That kind of sucks. But it learned around. So we heard a mysterious cry, so I went to go investigate. I looked over the cliff, and the thing that made the mysterious cry was a palm tree. I thought, at least. Nope, it was actually Koraidon, the guy from the start. And the guy that was on the box art. There are Houndours bugging it, so it yells at him. I think it yelled a little too loud because that kind of broke the rock where I was standing on, and I fell off the cliff. I swear I touched the ground. After I broke every single bone in my leg, I went to go check out what happened to Koraidon, and to help him out, because I am a good person. So he seemed pretty hurt. So I was thinking maybe I can use a potion or something on him. That would be pretty good. So I go on potion, I used it, and it doesn't seem like that would do the trick. It's a potion. So my next thing is to use a sandwich, I guess. I guess no Pokemon like sandwiches and not, not potions. He looks at me and he's like, "Hey, you give me a sandwich? I'll eat that sandwich, including your whole hand, too." Nom, he just ate my whole hand off. It hops up, and it seems pretty energetic now. It yells in the air. It focuses all its power and starts glowing. I had no idea what the heck is happening. It jumped up in the sky, like, exploded, turned into attack mode. Oh, look at this cutscene, though. It's pretty cool. Look at him. He's awesome. And he yells back at them. And protects me. Looking back at me anime style. We go back into the cave. I'm following him. Nemona's looking for me, even though she probably thought I broke every single bone in my leg. I said I'm fine, because my Rotom phone saved me. And she said she was really worried. She thought I got hurt. She wants me to get back up there, so she'll try to use one of her Pokemon's moves to get me back up. But I do not care. I look around the corner, and a bunch of puppies come out. And what does my Koraidon do instead of slicing their heads off one by one? He yells at them, of course. Nemona says something's coming. So we walk a little more into the cave, and we look. She said it's behind me. So I look behind me, and it's a Houndoom. This guy's like a big Doom fan, I think, because he just yelled Doom at me. And I'm like, this is Pokemon Scarlet, no advertisements for Doom. We get into a battle with him. So I was like, my hands were shaking. I went for an attack, but it went for Crunch. But that did not kill somehow, because my Pokemon was so scared, it just went right back in the Pokeball. So it yells at me. Reverse psychology, huh? Koraidon looks back and he's like, hey, I'll whip him with his tail, which is awesome, and he yells right back at him. And he gets angry and he yells back at him, calling all the little puppies to come. All these puppies are surrounding him, but instead of slicing their heads off one by one, what does he do? He yells at them, of course. No, I'm joking. He did not yell at them. I wish he did, though. That would be so funny. So he grabs me. I'm just hanging over his arm, like dead. I look up. Nemona's like, hey, come up, quick. So Koraidon jumps up, and I'm just still dead, hanging over his arm. She claps. And she's happy that I survived, and Koraidon survived. I think Koraidon was a little tired from that, so he fell down to the ground. We mentioned a sandwich to him, so he got right back up. He said he wanted Subway, but I do not care. We met this guy, Arvin, at the lighthouse, and he said he wanted to battle. So he slapped himself in the face twice, and he yelled at me. I wish Koraidon could have yelled back at him. So we were challenged by him. This man only has a squivit, and I have a fire crocodile that can burn this thing's tail right off. So I used Ember, and that did not as much as I thought it would. It goes for tackle, hitting me for 4 damage only, which is pretty good. I took that like a champ too. I hit Squivit a little less hard as before, and it's still in the red zone, but I used Ember again, killing it off. We have finally beaten Arvin. He seems a little angry, but he gives us Koraidon's Pokeball. So, obviously, we put him in the Pokeball for him to have a nice little rest. Nemona shows us our school, and we're going to Hogwarts now. I think. It looks like Hogwarts to me. So we go back to Pokepath, and I completely forgot that we get another encounter here. So yeah, I completely forgot about it. But the first Pokemon I seen was a Lechonk, so yeah, I'm gonna catch it. Go up to it, it yells at me, and what does Koraidon do? He yells right back at it. No, I don't even have, Koraidon's in the Pokeball. Why do I keep on making that joke? I need to stop. Okay, so I use the Pokeball at it, catching it in the process. 1 shakes, 2 shakes, 3 shakes, and it's in. Lechonk was caught. I named it Miss Piggy because it was a female after the Muppet Miss Piggy. It's registered to the Pokedex, and now we go see this 3-year-old in the distance. We walk up to him, and he's like, hey, let's battle. So I battled him. And I have no idea how I'm 10 years old, and I just got my first Pokemon. And this guy is about 3, and he already has a Pokemon. I had to wait 10 years. He sends out a Tarantula, so I send out my Fuecoco. And Tarantula is a bug type, so I'm gonna burn this thing alive. No offense, Spooderman. So I wrecked him 1 shot. Wasn't even a crit, though. He said my Pokemon is strong, so I thanked him. So we got introduced to the Pokemon Center, the Poke Shop, and the TM Creator. But to be honest, though, the Pokemon Centers look like gas stops. I think that's funny. I found a Scatterbug, and I wasn't too happy about that, because Scatterbugs are kind of bad. Scatterbugs aren't really the best. So I threw a Pokeball at it because this is a Nuzlocke and I have to catch it no matter what. 1 shake, 2 shake, 3 shakes, and it's in. We caught Scatterbug, named it Booterfly, which it becomes in its final stage. I'm going over to this young lady over here that probably goes to the school. So she won in a battle, so I throw out my Fuecoco, and she sends out a Bounsweet. Obviously, Bounsweet is grass type, so I burn it alive with my Ember. Man, Ember's overpowered in this game. At least in the start. One-shotting it in the process. That is insane. She only had one Pokemon, so that was pretty easy. Miss Piggy and Spooderman leveled up. Okay, so we finally beat her. Right in front of the doors of the school. I'm excited to finally go in, to meet my classmates, to see Director Clavel again. Man, I'm excited for this. And, oh great, it's Nimona again. Why does she always have to ruin the moment? She comes in. She said I probably got stronger from fighting the trainers in the hill, which I did. She said she won a battle, so I'm like, hey, last battle was pretty easy, so why don't I battle her? So, yeah. This was probably the worst decisions I've ever made. Yeah. The insane theme starts playing, and my god, this theme is so good, though. She shows us her hand again, and she sent out her Sprigatito. So I send out my Fuecoco, and I know Sprigatito's faster than me, but I still go for Ember anyways, because that's probably gonna one-shot it, or not. It goes for Scratch, which only does 4 damage, which is pretty good. Pretty good for me, at least, not for her. Hitting it all the way to the orange zone, I use Ember again. She went for Leafage, which didn't do a lot of damage either. And I wrecked it in the process, burning that little kitty alive. I noticed that she had 2 Pokemon, but everybody leveled up. She is about to send out Palmy, so I'm like, hey, Palmy's a fire type, right? I thought at least. Come on, it's orange. Look at this thing. Palmy is orange. Fire type equals orange. What color is my Fuecoco? Orange. So I wouldn't use Ember because I thought it wasn't going to be effective at all. So I went for Leer, but then she does this thing where she puts a bunch of energy in a ball, throws it in front of her Palmy, crystals come up from the ground, they shatter, and now this thing has a big light bulb on its head. This Palmy's probably about to fall over any second now, because that light bulb is probably very heavy. It goes for Thunder Shock, and oh my goodness, that hit so hard. Down to 14 HP. I go for Leer, lowering its defense. I do not know what to do. So I swap into Miss Piggy, because why not? Miss Piggy can probably take a good hit from Palmy. So I send out Miss Piggy, and Palmy obviously goes for Thunder Shock. Hitting Miss Piggy very, very hard. I was about to attack, but I'm like, Miss Piggy would die if I do that. So I went in my bag, dug out a potion from there, and I used a potion on Miss Piggy, bringing her all the way back to full HP. Palmy goes for Thunder Shock again, hitting me even harder this time, lowering me down to 5 HP. I am very scared at this moment, so I use another potion on Miss Piggy. I used a potion because potions heal 20 HP, and I was at 5, back to full health. Palmy goes for Thunder Shock, and that hit me again really, really hard. So I'm like, maybe I could use a potion on Fuecoco and sacrifice Miss Piggy. So, yes, I did sacrifice Miss Piggy, and she has fainted. Goodbye, Miss Piggy. You shall be missed. So yeah, from a fully healthy Fuecoco, I wanted to swap in Miss Piggy again, but she's dead on the ground. But now I have a fully powered Fuecoco. Well, almost fully powered Fuecoco. So I threw him in. And I knew Fuecoco could take a pretty good hit from Palmy. So I went for Round, because every time you use Round, it does more and more damage. Goes for Thunder Shock. Hitting me pretty good. It was a low roll, though. I went for Round. Hitting it to halfway HP, about halfway. I'm going for Round again. It goes for Thunder Shock and hits me with the high roll, bringing me down to 4 HP, like that. And I use Round one more time. I knew Palmy's faster than me, so I am not sacrificing Fuecoco. I could have used a Super Potion here, but I didn't for some reason. And that could have helped me out a lot. So I swapped into Spider-Man, because maybe he could take a hit. I'm not sure. I knew Spider-Man was gonna die. So Spider-Man's in. And yes, Palmy is faster. And he goes for Thunder Shock. Goodbye, Spider-Man. Spider-Man survived at 2 HP. But I went for Tackle and is faster. I did not think about that. Killing Spider-Man in the process. Yeah, sometimes I'm not too strategic, and sometimes I am. So yeah, either I have a full-powered Booterfly, or I use a very, very low-powered Fuecoco. So what did I do? I sent in Booterfly, obviously. I knew Booterfly would die, because it's a bug type, and it's gonna get electrocuted by, like a rat thing. So I used up my 1 Super Potion on Fuecoco. Fully recovered. Palmy used Thunder Shock right on me. Killing Booterfly. Okay, 3 Pokemon down. I have a Fuecoco that are full powered. He is full powered. He can hit it once with Round, and it is dead. I go for Round. It goes for Thunder Shock on me, hitting me on a low roll. So I go for Round, finishing off the Palmy, and finally winning this battle. Thank goodness this has happened. Finally, we have beaten it. We could have lost the whole run there, but we didn't. Thank goodness. She's kind of surprised that I beat her. I'm surprised I beat her. So yeah, she's like, hey, I cheated and you still won. Good for you. Yeah. So yeah, she cheated, but I still beat her. She gave us 3 revives, but in my book, those do not work one bit. So guys, thank you so much for watching. Remember to like and subscribe, and goodbye.